All right, y'all. So the economy is teetering on the brink of outright disaster, and I think everybody feels it. In fact, you could make an argument it already is a complete disaster. So take a look at this. Price increases since January 1st of 2026. Sulfur's up 90%, urea up 59%, bitumen up 40%, cotton up 31, rubber up 23, rice up 23, wool up 22, wheat up 20, palm oil up 12. As you all know, the Strait of Hormuz being shut down is a colossal disaster.
Shalom. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Kiam. And this is your brother Abawan, back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we are in. Now, this is the book of Luke 10, verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Right. So the video I was just playing, that was the beginning snippet of this Karl Kolinsky video. And the title is Major Red Flags. Alright, let me go. Major red flags as economy teeters on the brink of total disaster. The Karl Kolinsky show, and basically, what he was showing you was that due to the war between the U.S., the state of Israel and Iran, and also all the other factors that have been going on over the years, right? You're having an inflation. The price of goods are going up and more and more. Things are getting expensive, and as usual, the wages stagnate and stay the same, right? Basically, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer because as the price of these items are going up, right? The the elites are also gaining more money due to their stocks rising as well. Basically, as the price of things go up, the price of stocks will also go up. The price of everything will go up. So the um fiat, right? The bonds and the stocks and the shares and the assets that the elites have will also increase in value. So basically, yeah, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and you're getting poorer because you are using the same amount of money to buy an increased amount of goods, right? So the reason why I read that precept in the book of Luke, right, is that basically what you are seeing, right, with these price increases, with this inflation, is that the end of this kingdom is already manifest, right? The rulership of Esau Edom is coming to an end because what this inflation, what this hyperinflation is marking is the beginning of global, like he said right here, economy teeters on the brink of total disaster, right? Because you are edging ever so close to global financial collapse, right? And you are edging closer as well to the end of Esau's kingdom because this is the Hegelian dialectic, right? You already know what Esau is planning to do with this inflation and this financial crisis, basically to transition the people from one form of currency exchange, right, to the other. So from your fiat to your CBDC. And in order to do so, these devils have created this, all right, or at the very least, using the current situation that is on the earth, right? Because you as the doctrines of these devils say, never let a good crisis go to waste. So whether Esau planned, right, this whole situation, or whether it just happened by chance, because like I said, this kingdom is already on the edge of destruction. So you will have a lot of things that will happen in this kingdom that basically, is just happening because this kingdom is at its end, right? Because the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is already looking to bring this kingdom down. So all a lot of the signs they are seeing, lot of the things that are happening on the earth is just basically a symptom of the judgments of the heavenly fathers, right? So that's why we see that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is in control. Yeah, Esau might set up some things here and there, but at the end of the day, everything is in the hands of the Most High, right? So that's why you see, this current situation, right? And hey, it's just another, and like I said, this is just this, whole collapse of the economy is just another sign that we are at the end of this thing. It's just another sign that Esau's kingdom is going to be destroyed, because that is the value of Esau's kingdom. That's how this kingdom is valued, right? By how the economy is doing, because you live under the system of capitalism, and the system of capitalism is basically anchored on money, right? The flow of money, the flow of the economy, your GDP, your cost of living, your state of living, or I've gotten the other term, right? The cost of living, the GDP, the global debt, the financial debt, the asset, the budget, and things of like that. And all these things have been crumbling, right? Ever since, your boy, the DJT, came into office, okay, and he has been doing the will of the Heavenly Father on the earth, perfectly, as all US presidents before him have done, right? So yeah, I mean, that's why we honestly believe that, it could be during Trump's tenure that this whole thing comes, at that we could see the end during Trump's tenure, right? That's all that just left is for us to start seeing the rollout of the MOTB, that we know that, yeah, we're getting into those times right now. And that's also, most likely coming as well through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, of course, Lord willing. So let me get another quick precept. I'm not going to make this video too long, right? Because I was watching the Elder Malcolm's video, and of course, he's been getting the spirit has got him, getting on Israel and the US, right, for a while now. He's been doing multiple videos going in on them, right, because, well, due to the false narratives that have been pushed and the false wars that they are basically fighting all over the on the earth right now, especially with Iran, right, for the agenda of Esau Edom, right, all for that NWO, in order to make their enterprise a success, okay. And he was going into it, and he was going into it, right. And after that video, finished, YouTube's autoplay turned on, and for some reason, YouTube's autoplay always, pushes the next video as this Karl Kolinsky guy. So he was going into, what you just watched in the beginning of the video, and I was like, damn, have to do a video about this right here, because this is something that is happening all over the earth. Even here in Nigeria, I mean, we're feeling the fire, we're feeling the increase of goods. I mean, the most you how about Sham Yahusha is preserving us, man. Things are getting more and more expensive, right? As the days go on, things that were affordable before have now become a luxury. And basically, you are seeing more and more the disappearance of the middle class. That's the ultimate goal of the elite of Esau Edom, right? The whole idea is to transition you to a point where, like the IWEF said, where you will own nothing and be happy, right? Or they will give you that false perception of happiness, like these devils always do, right? Giving you false perceptions of reality, where they basically just practice their deception on the people of this world. And that's of course coming once again, right? That's of course coming once again, in order to push their NWO Great Reset. And I don't really know what I'm going to entitle this video. I want to entitle it "Behold a Black Horse," right? So this is the book of let's just get that. This is the book of Revelation 6 verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Right, and this is basically going into, you know, all the aspects of this kingdom coming to an end, right? Your financial collapse, right? Either it's through the tariffs that also raise the price of goods, or this war that has basically cut off a major supplier line that once again raised the price. And it's funny because there is no reason why the Strait of Hormuz has to be closed. That's the crazy thing right there. Iran's only demand is that they have control over the Strait of Hormuz, which is fair enough, because they are the ones that have that they're the ones that their country is within the territory of that region, right? Normally, it's understandable for a nation to demand that all ships that cross that cross a ocean. There's not even really an ocean; it's more of a sea, right? Is a strait, right? Just and all a strait really is a narrow path, right, between two larger bodies of water, right? So if a nation demands that you have to pay a certain fee in order to cross this strait, that's perfectly fine, especially when you have these ships that are going through the ocean, right? Ships that are carrying billions worth of goods because Esau, Edom, right? These devils, your elites, your ingenious, high IQ, Edomites that you people of the world love so much, has made it so that it is far cheaper to produce goods outside of your country, a million miles away, on the other side of the world, and ship it back to you, and it is to just produce it domestically, right? Because explain how it's cheaper to basically they'll manufacture goods in China, right? Ship the raw materials to China, manufacture it in China, then ship the raw materials back to the US, and basically just put a sticker on it and sell it for you for $1,000. That's the iPhone, of course. Explain how that is somehow cheaper than just producing it domestically. But that's basically the kingdom that Esau Edom has created, right? And it don't make no sense, man. When things like this happen and it doesn't make any sense. But that's why, at the end of the day, Esau's kingdom is coming to an end because not only are these devils horrible rulers, they are wicked rulers as well. And the Messiah Yahweh Sham Yahweh Ka Halaya Sham Yahweh Sham Kodash. The Messiah Yahweh Sham Yahweh is going to bring an end to this wicked ass kingdom. So let me listen to this calculation because it still had some more things that I thought was interesting to hear, right? Because basically this video is just showing you the reality of this kingdom, the reality that the men of the Lord, the Hebrew Israelites, starting from the elder apostles on down, have been warning you people of, right? Telling you that, hey, you jakes out here, man, right? You people out here have to better get ready because you know what is coming down the line, global global financial financial collapse, right? Wars and different things of that nature, right? Different crises of that nature. But what we're focusing on right now is, basically your financial collapse, your hyperinflation, right? The cost of goods going up, the money not being worth as much as it used to be, right? But you still have so many people in the world that are still chasing after this money like there's nothing else worth, there's nothing else, right? Like it's the everything, the end all be all.
Disaster. Everything is going up in price.
Yep.
Gas prices are through the roof. We're almost at
Yep.
$5 a gallon now. Grocery prices are super high. And people can't afford this. Simply put, they just can't afford this. And you're playing with fire here. You're playing with fire by allowing this to continue. We also have this. This is a huge deal.
That's right. And basically, man, when it starts to get, more and more expensive, it starts to get down to the wire, you're going to start seeing, complete anarchy, total unrest, and that's still coming, right? You see, starting from the elders and the apostles on down, the men of the Lord have always been talking about that, about how, this major anarchy and unrest will come into the Babylon the Great. Really, it already has, it already has, right? But Esau, being the devil that he is basically trying to keep up that semblance, right? That illusion of order, but really it already has. The constitution is now meaningless in America, Babylon the Great. You have a president that basically has been doing unconstitutional on top of unconstitutional things for ever since he came into office, right? And you had this whole uproar about how a certain civil rights voting bill was basically, I want to say, it was thrown out, right? But I don't know the best word to use for it. It was gutted, it was cancelled, it was delegitimized. Not really the best word to use for that, but basically a bill was cancelled, right? A voting rights bill that made it easier for, you know Jake to get representation when it comes to voting. And once again, showing you ultimately the futility of elections and voting and voting. But hey, would Jake ever hear? Would the two-thirds ever heed these words? Obviously, they won't. So yeah, this is what's happening right now, not just in Babylon the Great, right, but globally. But of course, we know that America, Babylon the Great, is the focus of Bible prophecy. So you're going to see it being discussed more, you know, about what's going on in America than anywhere else, because the same thing is happening all over the world. Everything is going up all over the world, right? Things are getting more expensive all over the world, but the focus is on America, Babylon the Great, because that is the place of great judgment and play.
Costco spots a recession before economists do. When members shift from beef to chicken, then to canned tuna, something in the economy is bending. You don't need a model, you need a checkout counter and millions of members with long memories. So, that's exactly what happened.
So yeah, man, and we've been and the many of the Lord have been saying that we have been in a recession for about a year now. It has been a recession for about a year now, but like I said, America is everything. Is great at every is great at if it's great at anything, it's the deception, which is exactly what it has used to deceive the people of the earth. So now, a lot of you Americans still think that everything is good, right? Just need to make a little more money, just need to grind and hustle more, in order for you to be able to dig yourself out of the collapse that Esau Edom has basically, put you in, right? But that's not the case, man. That's why the scriptures say that, every man worketh to fill his every man worketh to put it into a bag full of holes, and that's really what you are doing. Once Esau takes his taxes, his debt, once Esau takes his taxes and his other levies that he puts on any money that you get, what do you have left, right? And this is all just to see that this kingdom is already done, man. Hey, repent and turn back to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Rakakwadash. Wa abad babal, and through the spirits of Yakim and Juakwat were edified. Shalom.